We're rolling down the road, drinking lots of wild turkey. Oh, I got a bottle of wild turkey, man. It's Friday, it's the weekend. Cheers. Oh, oh, it's smooth. Some smooth stuff, man. So, how you doing? Oh, I gotta settle down. So, I'm gonna review a movie I reviewed before. Years and years ago, I did it like in the middle of the woods, and it's a terrible review. It's for 1987's Lunchmeat. I don't know if you ever heard of this movie. I only know of it. I don't even know how. I don't even know how I know of it, but I know of it. Oh yeah, because there was this guy. Maybe around 2008, 2009. Jesus, maybe in 2007. Found him online. He sold bootleg movies. Screamatorium DVD. That's what it was. I can't believe I remember that. Screamatorium DVD. He had a site, and he was selling his movies for like, Jesus, I think $5 maybe. And I emailed him, and he seemed like a really cool dude. I ordered a few movies from him, maybe like 4, 5, or 6 movies. Lunchmeat was one of them. And he had cases. The DVDRs had like a sticker on them, and they all skipped. And then when I tried to go back and talk to him, his website had been taken down. And I don't know if I tried. Maybe I didn't try to email him. Maybe when I saw the website was gone, I was, but yes, I don't know if he was really a ripoff, but none of the movies, all the movies froze. They like worked. Some of them worked once. I don't know. Some of them actually, yeah, man. I must have ordered like 4, 5, or 6. Some of them did work, but I ordered Lunchmeat, and it maybe worked once, and then I watched again, and it just kept freezing, and I think like I was like, well, let me try to record it onto a VHS, and it just froze, and I was like, God damn it, because you cannot get this. I didn't even bother to look up the price for the VHS, but this is like a really expensive movie, and it just goes into the whole thing. Like, I used to think, I don't know, maybe I'm a moron, but I don't know if you think the same thing. Like, if a movie's expensive, like on VHS, like an old movie, it's because it's good. Not necessarily. Lunchmeat falls in that nether region in between all that. Because when I finally saw it, well, this isn't that good. But after a couple of watches and then not watching it for years and years, I want to see it again. Maybe I should like reevaluate it. Fortunately, it's on YouTube. There's a channel called Walnetto, WALNETTO. He uploads movies, and he has it on his page, channel, site, and it's a pretty decent quality. It seems like obviously ripped from a VHS because that's all there is of it. So I watched it, but with so many like obscure movies being released on Blu-ray, 4K, VHS again, I don't know why someone hasn't taken Lunchmeat and put it out again. Because I watched it again and I enjoyed it a lot more. Because when I saw it the first time, I was like, oh yeah, this is gonna be like super gory. And it's gonna be like Texas Chainsaw Massacre and The Hills Have Eyes, but with like brain dead, like Peter Jackson gore, or even if it was like the violent shit movies, like the German gore stuff. And it's nothing like those. Either any of those. Well, it's kind of like Hills Have Eyes because there's a family. It's the Pa and his three sons, Harley and can't Elwood, Harley and Elwood. And there's a third one, but Benny. I think that was his name, Benny. And they I guess hide out in the Hollywood Hills because you see the Hollywood sign. There's a six. It says high school students, but they don't seem like high school students. They're going to stay at this rich kid Schumacher, his parents' cabin. So it can't be too far. And these backwoods hill jacks they're catching people, eating them, and then they sell the excess meat to like a local burger joint. Which now, well, that's pretty cool. It's funny. So it's Pa, Elwood, and Benny, and Harley. Yeah, Harley, Elwood, and Benny are the sons. And actually watching it again, Harley and Elwood are pretty scary. They're almost like I could see them hanging out with Henry and Otis, and they'd get along famously and just kill, rape, and eat people all day long. Whoever these guys are, they're really good. Not that their acting is great, but just the way they look, their voices, they're great. The Pa reminds me of the dad from Slaughterhouse, kinda. Like even dirtier, insane version of him. And then Benny, he's the worst actor. He's just almost just totally. He's nonverbal. He likes to eat people. He's bald. He's fat. He wears overalls. And he likes to run around carrying a chicken wire cage with a chicken in it. And he's almost ostracized from the family. They're always beating him and like putting him down. So Paul sends Elwood and Harley into town to sell some of their excess meat. And at the burger joint, they run into they don't run into them. They see the 6 kids that are going into the woods to the cabin, and I guess they overhear them. So they go back and they set up. The 6 kids, I'm trying to write down names now. So there's Schumacher, Frank, Eddie, Debbie, and Roxy, and there's one more I didn't catch her name. But Schumacher, he's like the preppy jerk. I like his voice. He's the only one with like a lot of character. He's insulting one of the girls for being ugly. He's always getting into it the other guys because they all want to bang Roxy. So he's the only one really that gets any character development, because as soon as they get into the hills, they almost like one of the brothers is like laying in the road, so they have to stop and they think he's hurt. And then the family attacks. Right away they kill 2 of them. And then from then on it's just a chase, like chasing the 4 remaining survivors through the woods. And Paul and his kids are trying to kill them and eat them and sell the extra meat to the burger joint. And I forgot about all that. I thought, okay, they're gonna, I didn't remember anything, so I was like, they're gonna chase them, kill some, and then they're gonna take them back to their house and reenact the dinner scene from Chainsaw. And they don't. It's just a chase through the woods, and then eventually they kill some more. And I don't want to spoil it. And then it ends. It's just non-stop, which is I appreciated. I like a good like chase film. But then with all that said, This is not a well-made movie. There's not a lot of gore. There is some gore, but all the kills are like you just see someone hitting something off screen. And I was like, at least like, can't they do an insert shot of like a shirt over some meat and it's going in, or just fake blood, throw it? No, they don't do any of that. It's just like them hitting. One dude one of the high schoolers gets pickaxe in the foot toe region, and I'm sure I've talked about this before, but one time I accidentally stabbed myself in the leg with a gladiator sword because I'm an idiot. And I remember like it got when I was walking home after I stabbed myself, and I made it home, but I just couldn't walk anymore. I had to just sit down on the sidewalk. So whenever I see movies now, it went in pretty deep, and yeah, maybe I was just weak or in shock or something. But I was see now when I watch movies, and I was like, oh, maybe they wouldn't be able to walk after that. So yeah, you get a pickaxe in the foot, and then the survivors, the surviving high schoolers, they fight back, which is cool. But yeah, then it ends. I was looking at reviews on IMDb. A lot of people, well, the people that do review this, most of them seem to remember they rented it from their local video store, and I was like, I never saw this in my video store. Dude, I would have just kept it, I think. But I guess that's regional, so maybe wherever they lived, wherever this movie was filmed. And I tersely looked up info about the movie. I really couldn't find anything. No interviews with the director. This is the only movie he ever made. But I didn't read all the reviews, but I remember, I don't think I made this up, but someone saying how since the movie takes place in daytime, that it gives it this weird, like, stark look to it. And I agree, it does, to where it's almost like dreamlike in some parts. I mean, not that this makes it great, but it definitely makes it different, because everything's during the day. It's out in like, kind of actually looks like Texas a little bit, just dry. Like there's a lot of woods and like tall grass, but it's all like brittle and yellowed. It looks very uncomfortable wherever they are. But yeah, Lunchmeat. Watching it again, I liked it more. It should be preserved, but there's one more thing that a chicken. You see a chicken eating a hand in a cage. But no, that's not it. I looked up the cast, and I wonder if anyone did anything after this. And there's one person, Kim McCamey. Like, she's the only one that has like a picture for her on her IMDb, and she went on to make a lot of movies, or she did porn, but before that, like, she was in Dream Maniac, Evil Laugh, Creepazoids, and then this, and then she was in Angel 3, and she did TV shows. She was in, she was also in the Willard remake. She was on X-Files, That Show Millennium, Silk Stockings, Space Above and Beyond. And while she was doing all those shows, she was still doing pornographic films, and I was like, that's awesome. Like, she was able to travel between those two worlds. And you always hear like how hard it is for adult film stars to break into mainstream stuff, you only ever hear about Tracy Lords. That's pretty much it. Um, Maybe Sasha Grey, but Ashlyn Gear, what's her name? Kim McCamey. Yeah, she did it, and she was still doing both. And like I saw a picture of her X-Files, the X-Files episode she did, and she looks like the most normal, nondescript housewife you could ever see. But then I watched some of her X-rated work, and I was like, man, she's smoking hot. Just weird how that difference, like, I guess makeup, hair will do it. But yeah, and then she did. Oh, she was also in The One with Jet Li and Jason Statham. But I was like, she's on X Files. I was like, David Duchovny like took a slice off of that loaf. And I think I'll take a slice off of this loaf. So Lunchmeat, it's definitely an oddity that you should, if you like, because I think that's my favorite genre. The backwoods cannibal killer, like Chainsaw, Hills Have Eyes. And this is but it's like an oddity into the entry of those. Cheers. But I would give it a 3, just because I would like to rate. I'll give it a 4 because it's just so odd, and it's never boring. It's better than like definitely like it better than Cannibal Campout. I'd almost put it on like if you like Mother's Day. I'm not even sure if it's shot on video or not either. But someone needs to like put it out. There's so many of these boutique labels putting crappy shot on video movies or just the most obscure stuff that you've ever seen that no one knows about or cares about. Someone should do Lunchmeat. Maybe you. But it's on YouTube though. I would definitely like to watch it again. But I would like to have a physical copy, whatever it is, or maybe even I hate to say it, but a digital download. Oh, and my bones are aching, Annie. But yeah, Lunchmeat. It's a strange one, but I'm glad I rewatched it. Reviewed it again, and we'll see what happens. It's the weekend; it could go crazy. I got more movies, and we got some comics and books, some more death metal, and I'll see you then.